This is Ed, and welcome to my video on Windows 10 inside a preview 19033. On my blog, I've been running through quite a few of these over the last few months. There have been some that make the machine a little bit unusable at times, where some of the processors spike to 100%, but I'd actually like to show you running this preview some of the things that I work with to see if they work, if they don't work, what's slow, what is broken, etc. Now, one of the first things that I want to show you is that even though I'm running Office 2019, the mail icon in the control panel refers to Office 2016. Now, I have asked the team if it's going to be fixed, but I haven't had any feedback on this because it should reference the right version, unless this is a feature that's going to be depreciated, because within Outlook 2019, as demonstrated in one of my other videos, you can see how easy it is to add accounts. As you can see, I'm running the black theme here. Now, for those new to Windows 10 or Windows Insider, you can pretty much personalize by right-clicking on the desktop, and I can go and I can change my themes here, and obviously I can set a theme, and then if I want, dark mode, I can literally type in settings here if I want to turn dark mode on system wide, for example, and this will be everywhere on Windows 10. The one thing you'll notice is if I go to Notepad, the theme doesn't apply to this. I'm not sure why, but hopefully in future releases that Notepad will get a little bit of enhancements, maybe some formatting for bold and a little bit of color, etc. But for now, there's nothing new to this or any changes. What I want to show you is how quick the actual start menu is in terms of actually finding stuff. So if I had to type Outlook, you can see how quick it actually appears, and also gives you a whole stack of options here. Another example is if I do one SCP as an example, again you'll notice it gives you a whole lot of options instead of, like on previous versions, right clicking and running as administrator. But what you also notice is that you've got apps, documents, email, web, and more features in here. So if you have music that you want to search, you can literally search it from within the start menu. The Microsoft Store has been improved drastically now. When I mean drastically, you can see how fast it opens. Previously it would think and think and think. The other thing is downloads. Obviously this has had a makeover, and doing a check for updates, it does take a little bit longer than normal, but it does eventually show you the list of apps, and then I noticed the updates are quite slow in terms of downloading and applying. So you can see I've got 4 updates. Let me show you. If you go update all, so as you can see, it requires a license, and then it starts downloading. Now, even though it's downloading, it actually hasn't told you how much it's downloading. So as you can see here, it's 130 kilobytes, and you're downloading at this speed, but it's not the fastest, and I'm not comparing it to any other store. I'm just saying sometimes it's quick, other times not quick. I'm guessing it's latency across the international link to Microsoft. Now, pretty much once that's done, you'll get a pop-up here to say that this app was updated, that app was updated. If we launch like Explorer, Edge, sorry, not Explorer, you'll notice that it's also in the dark mode, obviously with the white background here on the pages. And pretty much once you do an update of Insider Preview, this page starts when Windows starts. So it'll tell you if the next build is 19037 or 035. it'll then basically show once you've rebooted, and it actually tells you what's new. And if you follow the Twitter handle for Windows Insider, they also list the changes, the fixes, what's new, and general issues within Windows, this build of Windows 10. One thing I did notice is that if you go to something that's got Flash or Adobe, it basically pops up here continuously saying allow once, allow once. Now it would be nice to see if this can have a second button to say that allow every time or multiple times, etc. If we navigate to Explorer, you'll notice that it's on the dark theme. And if we go look at, for example, downloads, it basically sorts it by large, now medium, and small files. So you can see it goes from small to large. And this is one of the cool things that this was introduced. It's something a little bit confusing because if you're looking for something that was date modified, it actually lists, sometimes it lists the files that are big here. Navigating to the machine, you'll notice that obviously I'm running low on disk space here. Now, one of the features that I requested from the product team is if you could right click here and go straight to your cleanup versus going to properties, and then obviously you can see all the other things, and then going to disk cleanup, and then going to clean up system files. Now you see it's a 3 or 4 step process to get there, where it would be nice to have a disk cleanup here. I'll show you a little bit later in the settings that you also have like a disk option that shows you what's eating space, etc., which was introduced recently as well. As you can see, it takes quite a while to actually scan for stuff. Now these previous builds are generally quite big, and you'll notice that there are a lot of set of files, there's a lot of space used. For example, optimization files, the actual previous windows, and then anything else that you want to delete. And then clicking OK will remove the files, and it will obviously give me a prompt, because if I delete the previous version, as you can see, I can't roll back. And in this case, it's just a test machine, and if it breaks, it breaks, and I'll just rebuild it again. Obviously, Cortana in my region is not available. It's only available in the United States, so it doesn't work. Even if you try, like I've tried to trick it with a VPN, and it obviously still detects that I'm not coming from America, so if we head over to obviously your start menu, now settings, again you can see the black theme, and if we head over to updates and security, obviously if you go and check for updates, this has also been improved drastically, because if you check for updates, then you'll get an error, couldn't download, or it'll tell you there's no updates, but there are updates. In this case, I'm running the latest build, so there's nothing new available. You'll see previously I mentioned that you can check storage, so there's a link here that says check storage. Now it actually tells you temporary files in use and how big it is, and apps and features, how much is being used, and how much space you have available. So this is a nice quick overview. You can obviously, if I go to this, it'll tell me where I can delete files, etc. If you want to know what build you are running, you can click on the About button here, and it'll tell you that I'm running this build, and it was installed on this date, and obviously I'm running Windows 10 Pro. Anything else that you wanna configure, remote desktop, sounds, your notifications bar on the bottom here. And if you go back home again, if you wanted to set up this account, like if you want to configure it, then you could obviously say let's go, and it'll take you out back into the welcome screen, and you can obviously set up your machine again from scratch. Anything like applications, it's the same kind of view as control panel, and my thinking behind this is are they replacing control panel with this, because as you can see everything I have installed is listed here. Same as control panel. I can also go to programs and features, and you can obviously see I have a lot less in control panel than what's actually showing in settings. As you can see, space was removed, disk cleanup is complete, and ready obviously for the next round of updates. Everything else is pretty much the same, like Windows 8, 8.1. From the folder perspective, navigation, you'll still have your pictures and your documents and downloads, etc. And that's pretty much the same. The search function, as I mentioned earlier, has been improved quite a lot. It never used to be this quick. So if I choose anything like MP4, it'll basically bring up, I mean, you saw how quick it is. If I go look in documents, wherever I want to look for, search for something, if I want to search an email, you can see pretty much all the emails. Right. And that's a quick view of Windows 10. Thank you for watching.